way out there and you start watching other people and you start learning about fins and wetsuits and different boards. And then when Maury came out with the slick bottom Mach 7.7, that changed the game. You know, just like Henry Ford in the car, he made it affordable. I got my sister's board, and it was just the passion. And then you start to live this whole culture, and it changes your life. Mm-hmm. Everything revolves around the ocean. I mean,
yes.
Me, I have always had night jobs because of the ocean. Bodyboard Mecca, you know. But again, we're playing on a live, living organism. When the sand shifts. Yeah. You know, just like in Playa del Rey. I mean, Dockwater used to be an awesome place to be at in the 80s. But when the sand shifted, it came this way. Down the beach. Different shapes of sandbars and how they are, that's all.
What does it mean?
Well, with the sand, you know, it's just a little bit more sand there, and as that energy comes across it, it just raises up higher right there. And it leaves your whitewash, your markings. I mean, being up on top, you can see it better than being actually when you're in the water, because now you got to read the water from which way it's going, in different directions. You just got to watch it. You just got to watch how the whitewash breaks. And even sometimes when it passes by, you still like to watch to see which way it A-frames out.
That's what it's doing today, A-frame?
You can see see how it's like an A in the water where the whitewash is at?
Oh, yeah.
See how it starts? And it just peels out like that? It's little things like that when you're just in the water paying attention. You're just looking to see where it's breaking. That's just... We have to take the bitter with the sweet when we're playing on something that's alive. It can happen. A riptide can happen at any given moment, and you have to have the stamina and the strength to get yourself out of it. Mm-hmm. And it's been times we play in riptides. We treasure them because we know how they can pull us out into the break. And we can do what we have to do, but when you see
and y'all
people
go
get
in
caught,
between this pier, this is one of the strongest.
I was working that pilot. I was working it. Just my last one.
Yeah.
I wish she would have caught it.
I caught a little bit of it. I
was buckling in and out.
You pretty fast.
Yeah, man, I was doing good. But you know, it can happen, and I've pulled people out of this water. I've beaten the lifeguards to people sometimes, you know, and
I came out with a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
Before. Didn't you say you started swimming in high school or something, or?
Oh no, man! Oh man, my mother put me on a swim team at Hawthorne YMCA, man.
Wow.
I did 8 years. Was it 8 years? Wait a minute. I always say 8. It's about 5 years. I did 5 years on swim team.
Wow.
I did water polo, junior lifeguard. I taught swim classes.
Wow.
And it was just that whole, again, summer. You was at the beach, you was at the pool. Wintertime, I was at the pool doing my thing, and it was just that whole water culture, and you just learn how to swim, you learn how to breathe. And when you take that and you apply it to the ocean, you learn how to breathe, you learn how to relax, you learn how to swallow water, you learn how to keep your eyes up, you learn how to take it. You just
Why
don't
did I
panic.
swallow so much water in my first year here?
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. Clean you
I
out.
think I swallowed a gallon like every week.
There you go.
I was taking so many
rest.
probiotics. Mm-hmm. I took so many probiotics and was detoxing, and oh my God, I literally a gallon a week.
That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. Flush it out. It's good for you.
Builds up the immune system for this water, huh?
There you go. Put hair on your ears.
Yes. Speaking. How did I meet you?
This and to put the puzzle together, through Rock and Roll Dan, one of my brothers here, Bodyboard Brothers, getting to know him, me and Dan hanging out, we're enjoying each other. We have a lot in common.
He invited me down one day.
And by him inviting her down, that's when I met
you.
Him, and I'm like, okay, that's a sister, right on. I know Dan that's my brother, man. And I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I met her, we talk, and you know, he's explaining, you know, she's just getting started. I'm like, okay, cool. So now she's in the water, and I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Hold up. You need to work on that water etiquette real fast, okay? And then that's how I met Mimi, and explaining to her water etiquettes, where to be, what to look for, Look how the wave is turning. Which way is it going? You see how that's turning that way. Pointing out those little things, because if anybody have enough heart to come out here, somebody should have enough nuts to at least give them some information. You know, that's the most respectful thing somebody can do. But a lot of cats don't do that. You know, they have that arrogance on their chest, and they like this is their sandbox, and they don't want nobody else to share it. But me personally, if you have enough nuts to come out here, especially if you got fins on, you're not a kook. So I have to. It's my obligation. And you have a boogie board? Oh hell no! That's my obligation to say something. So with that being said, that's how I met her, and teaching Mimi that spirit of surf, that spirit of bodyboarding. You want to share that with everybody, but everybody don't have that same passion as you.
And I try to tell people about the first thing you need to do before even surfing is bodyboarding. This is where you really get in touch with the water and understand the wave, what it's doing, all the properties.
Yep. And it's an evolution. It goes from body surfing, bodyboarding, to standing up to surfing. Because when you fall, oh man, if you can fall and go into a body surfing position, it's amazing. And like you meant to do that. But it's the whole evolution part, and sometimes people skip that and it goes off into a whole nother direction. But then, and I like to say this, a lot of these surf schools don't teach water etiquettes.
No, they don't.
A lot of these surf coaches and whoever they are, they don't teach water etiquettes.
No, they
don't. And these little kids come out here and they just get in your way. Not to say it's wrong, not to say I'm entitled to this, but it becomes a safety issue. And when you have these older surfers out here, these guys who've been out here, they put in their time, they know water etiquettes, they know what they're doing. And you got these little 17-year-olds, these 15-year-olds come up right up the middle and don't even give you the respect that you deserve, that you was raised on, respect your elders. It's kind of like, wait a minute, hold up. So now you have an opportunity to share your knowledge or to be an asshole. I've always took the different approach. Well, look, let me explain to you what's going on, because maybe nobody never explained it to you. Maybe you don't understand the pecking order. Maybe you don't understand water etiquettes. Maybe somebody didn't show you there's actually rules out here in the water. It's just like walking. There's rules to walking.
Or you might get a fin in your forehead.
There you go. You might get split. And I've seen people get split.
I just had one of my friends just told me about how she got her head split in the water, and she used to be a shortboarder, and one day the fin went straight through her head. She showed me pictures. She had surgery. She had to have like stitches, and had surgery on her head like thousands of times to clear it up. And she has the cute little son. And she won't even go past. She only rides a soft top now. She won't even go past the whitewash. And she used to be a great surfer. She was a great surfer.
And that happens out here. It happens to the best of us. Some people been out here surfing all their life.
Yeah.
And just happen to get run over, and they get they calf split.
Yeah.
You get your back split. You get your arm split, because that board just happened to go that way. Or it could be some kid out here not knowing what he's doing, and he just ditches his board. It's been times I've been out here on good days, and we will literally tell, hey man, if you don't know what the hell you doing, take that shit down the way, because nobody wants to get hurt, because you decided you wanted to be a pro today. You know, we all know what we're doing. It's not that we don't want you to have fun. It's just that we don't want to get hurt. So, you know, it's just a lot of things people need to take into consideration when you're coming out here and you're going to somebody else's beach, because it's not yours. Don't come out here with your male testosterone and your arrogance, because this is not home. This is your backyard. It's a public beach. It's yours. Nobody's entitled to this.
Right.
But people come here on a regular basis, and they just want you to have the same respect that they have for the beach as well. You know, it's not that too hard to figure out, you know, and you see it. I've been seeing it recently.
I've actually broke a guy's board before for hitting me with his board.
Ow.
I watched him. I saw him look at me funny. I saw him look at me, and I've been out here long enough in the world that I know when somebody give you a certain kind of eye. The stare, the roll your eyes, but keep your eyes open. That's how they roll their eyes. They keep them open and they look at you a certain way. The next thing I see is I'm paddling out. I see him push out on his board my way.
Yep.
Push the board out. So
That's
I'm seeing
deliberate.
Yes,
That is
so
deliberate.
I'm seeing the board coming down, and I'm at shore coming out. He's already in the lineup, but I see him push the board out. I'm coming out, and I hold my board up against my face and duck under the water. It hit my wrist slightly, but I went and got that board, and I cracked it on purpose. I did. And he was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "You fucking hit me on purpose. I saw you." And he was like, "Oh, you know what I'm doing now. You know." And I said, "Yeah, I know eye contact. I know vibes." And I said, "Don't you ever." But I'm not into like fighting no men or anything like that. But I mean,
It's just a lot of
sometimes
that entitlement attitude.
if that entitlement happens, you never know how a person's gonna be. I didn't know that.
I've been in that position. I feel sometimes I'm entitled to this because I've been coming here all my life, and I'm a local, and you're supposed to do what I say or act like the way I do and move when I move, and if that's my wave, I'm taking it. And I caught myself a couple times like, wait a minute, hold up, man. This little kid got more energy than me. I need to yield to that. I need to not yell at them or express myself, but kind of get to know them and say, hey, wait a minute, hey, slow down a little bit. If you're gonna go pro, let me know. I don't mind. I would love to know you.
Yes.
But I have learned to take a different approach now. Getting a little older and a little wiser on communicating with people out here in the water. Because again, anybody can have a confrontation, and everybody's is so uptight and wound up. You forget that whole spirit of being in the water. And when you catch yourself and you want to talk to somebody, you find yourself in that spirit, and you allow that spirit to do what it's supposed to do. And spirit recognizes spirit. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people are not receptive to that humble spirit, and that's when you have to use a different choice of words.
That's right.
And that's when you're not being confrontational, but your tone of voice does change. And you let them know that, hey, man, it don't have to be this way. We're all out here trying to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, y'all kind of rough out here in the mornings, huh?
Yes, we are, man.
Manhattan Beach, like right now, the waves are pretty big. Well, not big, but decent.
It's something to play with. Something to play with.
But there's a different crowd in the morning than in the afternoon and in the evening.
Hi, Birdie.
And the morning crowd is one of those crowds you better know what you're doing or respect.
Because we all know each other. We all know how each other ride. We know your strength. We know your weaknesses. We know how good you are. And we know pecking order. That's a local thing. And we learn how to share with one another. And if we ride together with one another, it's still beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that we know you. So it's okay. But now you being somebody we don't know and you just try to ride with me, it's like, hey, hold up. Let's talk about that, man. Let's get to know each other. Let's have a cup of coffee. Get your ass out the way. Get out the way. We don't want people to get out.
We're not talking about you. He's talking on the thing, but still, yeah.
We don't want that football to come this way.
Please.
That's all.
I think we don't want it to come this way.
But it's really important, and a lot of people had that misconception. If I get the best tennis shoes, I can be a basketball player. No, it doesn't. It just means you got some damn good looking shoes on, looking like a fool.
Right.